Hello. Hi
Hello.
guys. Let's see. I
Hey.
need, I need to do one more thing before we start. Sorry I'm late. Let's see. And okay. All right. What's happening today? We're going to do a little bit of opening roles. Okay. So we're stepping back. We're going to do first role situations, and then we're going to do a little bit of the analysis between um, who was in the finals. You guys remember? Let's see. Petko was one, right? Rada?
Okay.
Petko Konstantinov and also Jason Pack are the two finalists. So we'll do a little bit of that also. Okay. So do I have anything to share? I guess I sort of do. I don't have a regular slideshow today. So we'll share the screen. We'll go to, okay, let's tell you a little story. And you guys see, oh, I'm not seeing the study session. Hmm. It says I have another one going on. Okay. I'll trust you guys to tell me what's happening, okay? So can you see the little story right here?
Yes.
Okay, so it's he's saying, Master, I've just learned this game called backgammon. I am told that it's easy to learn, but it is so complex that it's difficult to master. Can you teach me? So this was generated by one of the three AIs that do the best job of creating images from text. And I don't remember the name of this one right here. Okay. So later, after the master accepts the students, he asks, okay, so the student asks, thank you for teaching me the rules. Mathematicians have estimated there are as many positions of the 15 checkers on both sides of the 26 points of the board. Didn't read that very clearly. Mathematicians have estimated that, okay, there are many positions of the 15 checkers on both sides on the 26 points of the board. So that includes the 24 points on the board, plus when you have borne them off and when they're on the bar. Okay. And Mess says, yes, there are exactly 18 quintillion, et cetera, roughly 18.5 quintillion legal board positions in backgammon. This number counts all the ways to arrange both players 15 checkers across the 24 points on the bar and borne off the board, following the rule that no point can hold opposing checkers at the same time. Okay, so this is what the AI said. I need to put in my own words. The student, what is the most common position? Master, the position, the opening position. It occurs in every game. So, student, Master, will you teach me how to play the opening roles? Master, yes. Now that you have completed the white belt requirements, I can teach you. You know how to bear off checkers. And most importantly, you understand the four game plans and know our mantra. We will have to teach you a few other concepts that we learn in the opening roles. Are you ready? Yes. So in the Fuji Backgammon Dojo, the white belt to require when you finish the white belt, you will be able to play a game because you know all the rules and the mechanics and some of the courtesies. Okay. And then yellow belts when you start to understand things like our game plans and our mantras. So basically just the definitions because those are pretty deep, but those are so fundamental to the way that I teach backgammon that I'm going to introduce at the yellow belt level. Okay. So Master asks, are you ready? Student, yes. Master, there are 36 possible rolls of two six-sided dice. Six of them are doubles. Doubles are not allowed on the opening roll, so there are 30 legal rolls. The roll of 6-1 is the same as 1-6. So there are 15 distinct rolls of dice on the first roll. Student, so There are 15 possible rolls, only 4 points to move them from. How difficult can it be? Can I just memorize the ways to play the opening rolls? Master, yes, you can simply memorize them. There are more than 30 ways that players most often play the opening rolls. Neural net programs like Extreme Gammon 2 have determined what the best plays are. But neural net programs assume that a professional player is playing another professional player. They assume that they are playing a money game or the first game of a long match. If you change any of these conditions, then the number of plays is multiplied. Okay. I forgot to put in there, and I'll make a note for that next time. Gammon go, gammon save, DMP, right? So those are other conditions that the first roll assumes. And the student, is there a better way to learn them other than to memorize them? Master, if you seek to grasp the true nature of backgammon, by the time you achieve your 10th Dan black belt, then study the opening rules for these principles that we're going to talk about right now will guide you towards that enlightenment. So we have, let's see, where do I have that here? Okay, we have the lowest level white belt, right? And again, if you learn the rules and the mechanics, then you can qualify your white belt. Okay? And there's different levels, but I'm not sure that's going to still be the case. I think there's still going to be different lessons, but not levels. Yellow belt, and that's when you start to see the depth of backgammon. The orange belt, the green belt, the blue belt, the brown belt, and finally the black belt. And the black belt, there definitely will be dans. First, second, all the way up to 10th dan is the highest. Okay. And if you achieve the 10th dan of the Fuji Backgammon Dojo, then you'll probably understand the essence of backgammon. Okay, so that sets up what we're going to do. Let's see, let's go back to, where were we? Our story. Okay. Okay, so far we have this silly story. Okay. So instead of memorizing these principles, they'll guide you towards that enlightenment. So let's begin with these exercises. Okay. So if we go to the XG, right, and this is the opening roll, we know that there are 15 opening rolls from this position right here. Okay. So you guys all know how to use the chat box?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to talk about the good rolls right now. So there's a little over 30 ways that people commonly play the opening rolls. So put in the chat box what you would want your opening roll to be and how you would play it. Okay. Or maybe we can also review a little bit of nactation. Let's do that first. Okay, so the ones that we need for the opening rolls are pretty straightforward. The P is for point, right? So 3-1 point means to make your 5 point. R means to run or checker from the back. D means to bring 2 down from the midpoint. And $sign means to slot. Okay, so those are the main ones that we need for the opening rolls. There are a few more like Z and up and S. So, okay, so S is split, right? Oh, I could use one of those right now, Ed. I've been racing around all afternoon. Okay, so S is split and Z is reverse split. So 4-3, S would be coming from 24 to the 20 point. So you slot the opponent's 5 point and bring one down from the midpoint. And Z is doing it the other way around, bringing the 3 up and dropping the 4 down from the midpoint. Okay. And then up, in a basic sense, means to bring 2 checkers from the 24 point. So if you roll a 4-3 and you play 4-3 up, you're playing 24 to 21 and 24 to 20. Okay. And that's a good thing to do if you're way ahead in a match. Okay. Okay, so I don't have that all written out, but I think those are no, easy enough that you guys already know basically those, and you can do it. So in the chat box, you can put down whatever your role is and your move, and you can use nactation from if you remember it. Okay. So what would your favorite role be, or what role would you want to start the game with? So throw that in the chat. Okay. I don't know. So Rada, do you know how to do this inside the chat box? No. Okay. So you guys all agree 3-1 point is what you want to do, right? Okay, now let's choose a second role in the way that you would play it. I mean, it could be 3-1 again, but maybe you want to play a different way, or it can be a different number. How would you play that other number if you couldn't choose the 3-1?
So you're not assuming you've already made the 5 point.
Oh yeah, so it's from the start, the opening position.
Okay.
Okay, so we guys are typing in. I'm going to go grab my cold coffee. Okay, 3 new ones. It says, okay, 5-3 point, 4-2 point, and Mark, do you have a second one?
Yeah, 4-2 point.
4-2 point. Well, oh, there you are. Okay. All right. So let's throw those all in here. Okay. We're going to go to a spreadsheet. We're sharing the screen already.
We don't see anything. We see the pufferfish.
Oh, really? Okay. So let's make sure you see this right here. Okay. Can you guys see the screen right here?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. I wanted to do this hidden. Okay. Just, uh, yeah, I'll do this hidden. So but this first time I'll do it with both. So we had 3-1 as a pointing as one of them, right? Yeah. We had 4-2 pointing. And we had 5-3 pointing. 5-3, 5-3. Okay. Sort these A to Z. We'll make a table out of these things, or chart out of these guys right here. It should be a bar chart. Okay, so this is expressed in millipoints. Can I move you guys up here? Yeah, okay. So it says in terms of millipoints for or equity on your first roll, if you play 3-1 and you point, this is your equity. It's between it's something like 240 something millipoints, right? And 4-2 if you point, and 5-3 if you point right here. So these three may be the best opening rolls right here. What about 6-1?
I was going to have that as my third choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so throw in your third choice inside the Zoom windows.
So I'm surprised 3-1 is that good. That you're like already halfway to a double.
Right, so we'll talk about that next time.
Okay.
Okay. The reason I wanted to do it this time around, but I don't think we're going to be able to talk about it in depth enough.
Okay.
Um, so let's see. I want to open. I'm going to do a lot of this off screen right here. Okay. So let's see what you guys chose here. How do I get back there? I want to see the chats. And it says, let's see, 61 point, 61 point, and 42 point. Okay. So Kathy and Mark have chosen the same three in the same three in same order also. Right? So we're going to throw 6-1 in the mix. 6-1 point or 6-1 point. There we are. Yeah. Okay. You can see the rankings of these four right here. Okay. Why do you think 3-1 is better than 6-1 and 4-2 and 5-3 when it has the lowest pip count total?
Well, it makes a 5 point.
Right, makes what is intrinsically the best point right there, right? It'd be a great one for you to make to help with your attacking game plan and your priming game plan. And it's also prevents your opponent from making that advanced anchor. Okay, so 6-1 is similar. It's got more pips. It makes a more contiguous prime, but it doesn't make an interboard point. And the resulting distribution is not so great with a stack on the 6 point. Okay, 4-2 helps with that stackage. And even though it's not as contiguous as 6-1, it's better because you have a better chance to improve your position after that. Okay, and then 5-3 is also good because it makes a point. Okay, so let's see. Should we? Yeah, let's try a fourth one. Choose a fourth play if you couldn't choose one of these four right here. Okay, we've got 6-5 run, 6-4 point. I'm not seeing marks again. Oh, 6-5.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
there we
there.
go.
Yeah.
6-5 run, 6-5 run, 6-4 point. Okay, let's throw both of those in there because we don't have them there yet, right? You're not going to get rid of me? Not going to get rid of you? Oh, there we go. Okay. I wanted to do this so you guys couldn't see these numbers, but it didn't get set up in time. 6-5 run and 117 and 6-4 point. Going on. Okay, sort them. Chart them. Okay. So 6-5 is now above 5-3. And you're running a checker completely from the back, right? So we'll talk more about what that means next time around. And then 6-4 is also positive equity, but it's lower than these other guys. Okay.
So is this change in equity as a result of the roll?
Yes, they roll on the way it's played. Okay, so
Okay.
if you played like 6-4, 2 down, or 6-4 with a reverse split, 24-20 and 13-7, your equity would be way down there, right? So let's throw one in there like that. 6-4Z, okay. I may have made some mistakes when I copy these equities over because I was working quickly. No, but I don't think that this is going to be too far off. Okay, so here's 6-4. It's the same 10 pips, but this time it's being played as a reverse split. Okay, versus 6-4 played making a point. Okay, and if we also throw in the 6-1 with a normal slot or split rather, normal split, then that would be in positive territory also. Okay, let's go another step. You can't choose any of those right there. I'll leave this on the up on the screen, or you guys probably remember. If you can't play any of these, what would you play next?
All right.
Well, we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 naturals, right? So these are all the naturals, and there's no disputing in modern backgammon which ones are how to play them. Right?
Is that true for 6-4? I mean, you could split, you could run, or you could point.
Okay.
Aren't those all kind of
Right, they're all kind of good. Um 6-4 run. So while you guys are throwing those in the chat box, I'm going to throw this in.
okay?
And it was on the 6-4 run, 6-4 split. We didn't have that one yet, right?
Right.
Let's see. So you guys have, I think I'm seeing 4-3Z, 6-3Z. Okay. And Kathy, are you there?
Yeah, I'll guess.
Okay, 5-4. Okay. So when we copy these over, remind me what they are if I forget, okay? Okay, this is just throwing in the sixes, okay? The 6-4s. Just so we compare them. Okay, so 6-4, the running and pointing are both positive territory also. And the split is just about the same as the 6-4 pointing. So all three of those are in positive territory. All three would be acceptable opening rolls, but they have different implications. Okay.
Mike, can you explain what a 6-4S is as opposed to a 6-4Z?
Okay, can do. So can you guys now see the XG board?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So if our roll is 6-4, this is what a split looks like. Okay. So it plays the larger number from the 24 point and it plays a smaller number down. Okay. Pointing, in this case, there's only one way to make a point on the opening roll with a 6-4. This one right here, right? And then running, 6-4 run is all the way from the back. Okay. So Ed, if you want to change your 6-3Z to something else, you can do that.
Okay, I'll leave it.
You leave it okay. So
But to answer the question, so the Z is the minor split.
Z is the what?
Minor split?
Minor split, yeah. So your 4-3 mark would look like,
Yeah. Right, but on 6-4, so the minor split would be 24 to 20 and then 13 to 7.
right, that would be the Z.
Okay.
6-4 would be the Z. So that would look like, yeah, that would look Z right here. That's an equity of minus 63 millipoints. Okay. Compared to the higher ones of running and pointing and splitting with an S. Okay. So if you chose on the next one, something that's not a natural anymore, what would you choose? Oh, okay. We already asked that question, didn't we? Okay, so we have 4-3Z, 5-4 split, and 6-3Z. Okay. Four, 3Z. Six, 3Z. And 5-4 split. Okay. Put them together so they can make a nice chart for us. And charting them. Okay. So what do we add to this just now? We added 4-3Z, right? The reverse split, so 24 to 21, 13 to 9. We added 6-3Z. And what was the last? 5-4. What was the 5-4? 5-4 split. Okay. So first of all, notice that they're all not as good as the naturals. Right? All three, so these are 5 naturals, including the running play. And if you look at the 3 different weights play 6-4 that are good plays, then they're all positive equity also. But 5-4 is better than these other ones. And why is that? Why is 5-4 split so good? It splits just like the 4-3 does, but it's 4-3Z doesn't split as far, right? But 4-3, the advantage of the 4 and 5-4 does not add another builder to your side of the board, but it does help to diversify by dropping a checker off the heavy 13 point. And 4-3Z drops a checker off the heavy 13 point, but puts it on a point that helps you make a lot more. That's a builder for a lot more points. You know, you have a checker on the 9 point, the 8 point, and the 6 point now, and you can make all those points in front of it. Okay. Okay.
Does the risk of being hit fall into this too? On the next move?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But I think one of the bigger factors is the pips. Right, a couple more pips. Right. So, but we can look more closely at that too, right? The risk of being hit. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do this from the other side now. I didn't throw any of these numbers in the table. If you could choose the worst roll for your opponent that you could and have them make that play on the opening roll, what would you choose?
So they're going to make the best play given that roll?
Oh no, you're going to give them the roll and you're going to give them how to play it.
Okay, so they're going to, okay, bad roll, bad play.
Right.
Tomorrow in Kaneohe, Hawaii, There will be intermittent clouds.
It could be a
The
good
high
role
winds
played badly
is
though
very
too,
high
I
right?
see.
and low of
Okay, yeah,
77 degrees. Also, there's a coastal flood statement in effect until Tuesday, August 11th, 6 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, the worst play.
I don't know the nactation for my play. So-
Okay, yeah. Two one up and 6-5. Okay, I'll be throwing 6-5 played that way and 2-1 played that way into the numbers. So, Ed, did you throw one in there already? You did.
Yeah,
6-1.
6-1 Z.
Oh, that's pretty bad too. Okay. 6-1 Z first. Okay, help me find it. Where's 6-1 Z? 6-1's right here. Okay, we're playing unlimited. 6-1 Z is 24, 23, 13, 7. Whoa, look at that. It turned out to be the second best of all the different opening role plays. Oh, maybe
Oh.
not. It's not on a rollout situation here. Okay. That's crazy. Hey, I need to be rolled out. But anyway, it's not so great. Okay. So I'm gonna write these down so I can remember. 6-1 Z, 6-5, 2 and 3, and Kathy chose 2-1 up. Okay, so we got -60 for the Z play. Now I'm switching to the spreadsheet again. Can you guys see the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The 2-1 up and the 6-5, 2, 3. Back XG with the
So, no, Mike, for that 6-1 Z, did you get the right equity number?
yeah, I don't know if it's the right. I mean, it's how
Okay.
let's cancel this thing here. This is what it's saying right here. 24, 23, 13, 7 is a Z play, right?
Yeah, but the equity is -0.2.
No, that's the difference between the best play and the second best play.
Oh, I see. I'm reading it wrong. Okay, I got it. Okay.
So, but I don't need, but I'm sure it's much worse than some of these other ones right here that have been rolled out already.
I see. Okay.
So we're going to throw in -6 for that one, or -60 for that one, and
Okay.
see how that looks. And then for 6-5, okay. And we want, well, that's pretty bad, but it's not the worst. What is? Oh, it is. No, yeah, 6-5, right? Where is it? Am I missing it completely?
I think it's on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's from the 8-point, right?
That was my
Oh,
point.
it is 8-2, 8-3. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, this is the worst. Okay. So -393, right? And then the last one was 2-1 up. Two, 1, that one right there. And they'd be 24, 23, 22, 22 -55. Right? So we're going to give our opponent a roll. We're going to tell them how they're going to play it. And this is what it looks like in terms of equity. Okay. Well, it's pretty bad. Right, for some of these right here. 6-5 being by far the worst of the ones we see on the chart right here. Walter Trice once made this statement. I don't know what the worst opening plays for the opening rolls are, but if I were to guess, I would say this, playing 2 off of the 8 point. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because we're breaking the 8 point now, right? We're breaking an established point. So choose another play that you think is pretty bad that kind of follows Walter's statement. Okay. Hi, Laurel.
Hello.
We're doing something a little bit advanced right now. What we're going over are the opening rolls. So from the opening position, right, that we see every single game. And the first exercise was to choose, if you got to choose your opening roll, what would you choose, right? And how would you play it? So they did that and they all chose naturals, right? So for the best play in terms of equity we found, it would be 3-1 if you make the 5 point. The second best would be 4-2 if you make the 4 point. Next one would be 6-1 if you make the 7 point, and 6-5 if you run, followed by 5-3 if you make the 3 point. Mm-hmm. So these 5 right here are naturals, right? Because it's not disputed what the best way to play them is. And then we were looking at it from the other side. If we were to give our opponent a certain role and a certain way to play it, what's the worst thing we could get them to do? Okay, so that's what they're coming up with right now. So Ed came up with the 3-4 from the 8 point. So I'll go look that up right now and throw that in the table. I'm going to go straight to the end, Ed.
Okay.
Okay, age vote. Yep, minus 305. Or 3. Oops. And 2 off the 8 point. Okay. Kathy has 3-1, 8-7, 8-5, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking there's more ways to play a 6 and hit that 7.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. And do I have that here somewhere? -3-1-5-7 -5-6-2.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's well, yeah, that's bad good, right? Okay. Did you beat that, Mark? You have
I don't think so.
okay, 6-4, 2 off of it, right? 6-4. And we'll have to go to XG to find out what that one is. I'm going down the bottom too. Yep. Minus 382. That's pretty bad too. But so far, Kathy's beating out everybody, right?
I was thinking at least you're slotting valuable points. You might make them next turn.
Well, it does slot valuable points, right? So when you do something like that, yeah, there's a plus side of that, right? And there's a minus side. The minus side in this case is pretty big. You're giving them 4s and 6s to hit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is what that other one's thrown in there. Okay. So far 3-1, and I think that's the when you play it 2 points out, 2 checkers off the 8 point, which looks like this right here. Right? I'm pretty sure that's the worst one of all. So for the ones I looked at from that follow Walter Trice's statement that possibly 2 off the 8 point is the worst, it seems to have held up in every case so far that I looked at. That 2 off from the 8 point. So why is that? Well, we saw from the good rolls, right, that making points is good. Right? That's a good thing. And we're seeing from the bad rolls that we give our opponents, unmaking points is bad. Okay? And as we do this, we're going to go get to the realization that stacking checkers is bad. You know, in a weaker sense, we're duplicating our own numbers, and not splitting our back checkers when it's safe is bad also. So the good plays are making points is good. The flip side of that is unmaking points is bad. Diversifying checkers is good. So Michi calls that, he calls that, what does it call that? Breaking the mountain. So coming off of the 13 point and the 6 point, playing checkers off of there, because the checkers beyond 3, so 4th checker and 5th checker on a point, are superfluous in that they don't add any more builders there. So if you get those checkers off, put them someplace else, you might be able to make more points. And so the flip side of that is diversifying is duplicating your own numbers. So that's why a checker on the 9 point, let's look at it here. Here's a checker on the 9 point. And you can see that you have, with this additional checker here, you have 1s, 2s, and 6s to make this point right here. You have 1s, 3s, and 4s to make this point. You have 2s, 4s, and 5s to make this point. And you can make it this point here, the 6-3 and a 6-5. Whereas if this checker were on this point right here, these two are separated by 2 initially, and these two are still separated by 2. So it doesn't add as many point making numbers to try and make the 6 point, the 7 point, the 5 point, the 4 point. Okay. So the checker being here is much better in terms of being able to make points compared to here, but it is also a little more vulnerable being hit because it's 8s instead of 9s. Okay. So the 3 things we're going to start to understand is that splitting our back checkers is also good. And let's see, we've talked about all the different ways that it's good. It helps you to cover your opponent's outfield, so maybe you can hit blots that they might want to leave there. It makes it easier for you to form an advanced anchor, which will thwart their attacking game plans and priming game plans. It also sets you up for a good contact game plan if you make that point. And it also increases your chance of running. Okay. And then when we get to the replies to opening rolls, we also have blots now that can be hit. Okay. So before next time around, we did this little story here, Laurel. So before next time around, review our mantra, which you guys should know in your sleep already, and review the four different game plans. Okay, the running game plan, the attacking game plan, the priming game plan, and the contact game plan. So just review in general how they are played and what is good. So what we'll try to do next time around is we'll look at how each of the roles, when best played, will help us in each of the four different game plans and how they're not good for each of the game plans. So for example, a 3-1 made as a point is good for both the priming and for the attacking. It's good for the priming because it makes an inner-board point and you have good distribution to improve your points you can make. It's not good for the racing game plan because it only adds 4 pips to your total. Okay, it only brings you 4 pips closer to bearing them off. It's good for the sorry. Oh, I'm drinking a little bit of water right now. Three one making the 5 point, which says good for both the priming and the attacking game. But it's not as good for the attacking game plan because you haven't brought any more checkers into the zone. Okay? And 3-1 priming does nothing for your contact game plan. So we'll look at those 6 situations, the pros and the cons. I'm sorry, those 8 situations, the pros and the cons of the play made the best way and how they affect the racing, the attacking, the priming, and the contact game. Okay? So that's why you need to review what the attacking game plan, the priming game plan, the contact game plan, the running game plans are. So, Nancy, do you know what those are? I mean, Laurel?
What the game plans are?
Yeah, the game plan, the 4 game plans are?
Just running and attacking, I guess.
Okay, so I can send you something that right here. Info and mantra. Okay. I'll send you information, a little more information about basically what the game plans are and what our mantra is. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Okay, so what those exercises that we just did will do, it'll help lead us to those things that we talked about where good things right here. Okay.
Those 4 things.
Yeah, so in the opening rolls, there's only these 3 things that can happen right here. There's no blots to hit. Okay, so there's only these 3 things right here. Making points, being good, right? Diversing checkers is good, splitting back checkers is good. So when we go through those exercises, we'll start to see, we go down from the best plays, we'll start to see when it's good to diversify, when it's good to split, right? And why we make plays like the hitting on the ace point and splitting our back checkers. And why we do something like that, because it's helping us to make it safer to split. Okay. And then we do more of the bad play exercises. Right. We'll see that unmaking points is bad. Right. Okay. Why aren't we moving here? There we go. Okay. Stacking checkers is bad, and not splitting our back checker when it's safe is bad also. Okay.
Oh, it's
And we
like
do
I
that-
do 2 out of 3 all the time. All right.
Okay. So yeah. What beginners often don't, let me guess. You don't split your back checkers.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. A lot of beginners don't split their back checkers. But the downside of that is you might get stuck on that point if your opponent builds a prime in front of you. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So, and then so those will get, if you do some more of those right there, or if we do more of those next time around, we'll start to see these things right here about good plays and bad plays. Okay. So questions?
So when you're talking about the effects of opening rolls on a contact game plan, I wouldn't think you'd generally want to start with thinking in terms of setting up a contact game plan,
Right. You should be
except for
thinking,
making an anchor.
except for making anchor, right? So you shouldn't be thinking that way. And you should be thinking about the three offensive ones, right? The running, the attacking, and the priming. But you can quickly end up that you have a 5-point anchor, which is essentially a contact game plan, right? So splitting will help you to form an advanced anchor, and then anchor period, but especially an advanced anchor is what you would like. And it could lead to you having essentially a contact game plan, right, within a few moves.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing that we want to try and answer is, I had a question of, well, how soon can we start to see game plans from the beginning, the opening phase, right? And it actually is sooner than you think, right? We're not playing an attacking game plan by making the 5-point, but we are improving our chances of playing that type of a game versus a running game. Okay, so we look at the different elements of these things and say, hey, that's kind of good for an attacking game plan more than it is for a priming game plan and more than it is for a running game plan. And maybe within a few rolls, we actually get to an attacking game plan. You know, having stacks on the 6 and the 8-point isn't playing a blitzing game, an attacking game plan, but it probably lends itself more towards that type of a game plan because you want to quickly unstack those points. Okay, so we'll look at a few more of the good rolls and bad rolls, and we'll start to see where those other rules of diversifying our checkers and splitting our back checkers falls into that range of equities. Okay, so again, the goal is we want to understand the essence of backgammon. And I think if we, instead of memorizing the opening rolls and the 30+ ways it could be played, if we look at it this way and look at what each of the opening rolls sort of lead to, we'll have a better idea of getting closer to the essence of backgammon. Okay. Okay. Any other comments about that? No, good comment, Kathy. And Ed was almost going to say something.
Well, yes. All seriousness aside, if you're gonna take your dojo analogy to its final conclusion,
Okay, fine. Thank you.
I was scanning your outline for Black Belt 10th Dan, and I was looking for the line when you can take a checker from the master's open palm. Only then will you reach 10th Dan.
Okay, let's make a note of that right now. Right? You guys can't see this right now because I'm not going to go through the process of sharing. Black belt 10th Dan. Okay. When you can. What was it? Grasshopper.
That was from yes, Grasshopper. When you can take a checker from the master's open palm.
Okay. And you can take this checker from my hand, my palm. Okay. So that was the answer to when can I leave Master, right?
Yes.
Master Poe. Oh, was it? You know, Sydney's family is in the arts, so they're in movies and TV, right? And we're gonna go back here. So we were actually talking about that last time around, last Thursday. That we're talking about what was the series called? Kung Fu?
Kung Fu, yeah.
With David Carradine, right?
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about that because I told her that my cousins were the young boys. You know, the Rodimus was the main guy as a youngster. He was Kwai Chang Kane as a youngster. But my
Ah.
cousins were also the other boys inside that
Hmm.
school, right? And as young kids, they were paid $300 a day, mostly to sit around and play cards until they were
Wow.
called to go on set, right? So that really helped to fund their college tuition by doing that, right?
Oh,
So
very cool.
she said that all those people used to come over to her house all the time because her father was also in the silver screen business. And Drew Barrymore, David Carradine, people like that would come over all the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, Mark, if you're in LA, Ed and Kathy, if you guys go to LA, you guys already have your reservations, right?
Yeah.
We're going to try. Okay. I have an old friend, Bill Arkin, who I've never met, but we're close friends. And his girlfriend is V. Neal, who has won multiple Oscars and multiple nominations for makeup. So she's an incredible makeup artist. So she's worked with Tim Burton on a number of things, right? And I guess she's now on or maybe it's no longer playing a program called Face Off about makeup stuff. So we're going to have dinner with Bill and his girlfriend V and Sydney and Sydney's mother, because Sydney's mother and V are really close friends. And V is helping Sydney's mother with her movie project right now. Okay. So it'll be nice to get together, finally meet Bill and to, talk about all this stuff. Okay. So that should
Very
be
cool.
interesting. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do by doing this. But instead of memorizing the opening roles, which we could do, it's not that hard. I think Kathy's already got them down, right? And she has them down not only for when it's professional versus professional, but also double match point. How do you play an opening 2-1 or 3-1? 2-1 especially. Or let's choose 4-3, right? 4-3 is an opening roll at double match point. 4-3 at gammon go and gammon save. And also, if you're way ahead in the match, we already know that you're going to play 4-3 up, right? Okay. Yeah, the first time I saw that on some strong player did that to me in daily gammon, I thought, oh, I've never seen that before. Right? But it turns out in that situation, it's a good thing to do. Okay. Okay, we're going to switch to what we're doing. We're doing the finals match, right? Which I do not have queued up. I had it here. Is that where I put it? Can you guys see my can you see the screen right now?
Yes.
The match? Okay. We'll do without this. I think this may be where we left off. So,
You know, the checker on the 1 point, if Jason is on roll, I consider to be a slotted point, not a blot, right? Because I might just cover it.
In a blitz attack, that's a slotted point.
Yeah, slot.
Okay, so now it's a little bit into the next game. So Rada can tell us who Petko is, right? And we were talking about that, and Rada is.
Either make the ace point.
Let me go back some more. Rada is from a very small town in Bulgaria called Burgas. Very small town. And it's possible that Petko may have been like a Hanai child and in her family. Okay. He came to the US, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago, and he plays as a US citizen, but he's originally from Bulgaria. Okay. So that'd be interesting to find out when we eventually talk to Petko and have her compare notes with him. We'll see if he was possibly at one of her relatives' house for a long time. Okay. So this is the match between Petko and Jason Papp, two very top players, strong players. And they
Deuce it in the back.
Let's see, Petko opened with a 4-3. I'm sorry, 6-3, and did a split. right? 24 to 18 and 13 to 10. So probably that's the best way to play the 6-3 probably.
Galaxy app from next week, basically. Yeah, I've been using it all week. I have
Okay, 5-2 for Jason. How should you play the 5-2? Okay, you know, it's an open question to all you guys.
Well, I think you want to split with the 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
So that's going to be the guaranteed part, right?
yeah,
Splitting with the deuce. That's guaranteed. And then there's 3 ways you can play the 5.
3 ways. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm torn between hitting on the ace, just to cost him half a roll, and just bringing one down to be safe.
Right. So we know from the bad roll situation, you probably don't want to play a checker off the 8-point deep.
Right.
So Mark's mind quickly filter that out of the possible 5s. Yeah. Which you need to do when you're playing backgammon, because there might be 30 ways to play a roll. And you should be using your concept to filter out some of these right away. But then before you pick up your dice, think, okay, did I filter properly? Did I think of the best attacking game plan, the best running game plan, the best contact game plan, and the best priming game plan, right? And am I playing into their game plan, or am I trying to thwart their game plan? So the top 2 plays have got to be, we know the splitting, have got to be either coming down to the 8-point or hitting on the ace point. So the advantage of hitting on the ace point, you put them on the bar, you take away half the roll, and now you've increased the chance you're going to make an advanced anchor on their side of the board. Okay. Well, let's see what Jason does.
all of my matches transcribed on my phone automatically. I just put my phone up on a rig. Actually, we've been giving out these rigs for free down here. And
Well, Jason looked at both of them, right? He looked at the 5 down, he looked at the 6-1, and decided on the 6-1. Okay, the XG feed, even though it's on plus or on plus only, has the down from 13 to 8 as better.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know if that's true in plus and rollouts. I don't think it's correct on rollouts too. Well, might be. I don't know. Let's see. You guys cannot see this right now, right? Share screen. And start with the 6-3 countered with a 5-2. Right? So we know this is going to be the 2 right here. And it's a question between coming down with this one or hitting on the ace point, right? So from this position right here, we'll ask XG. Plus shouldn't take that long, but it also should have the rollouts already there. Maybe it'll take a little longer than I expected. I might be low on storage.
So you're asking the computer program to confirm or to calculate what the best roll is, or?
Okay, so it's saying that if you're given the X roll,
Yes,
the 5-2 roll in this position right here, what's the best way to play it? Okay. So it's saying after a rollouts, which means in this case, the computer played it out against itself 1,296 times, and it found that bringing this one down from here to here is the best play. And it says that hitting on the ace point is the second best play, but they're really close, it says. Okay. It says minus 203 millipoints for the top play and minus 222, which is pretty close. For anything less than 0.020 is really close. Okay. So it's saying that the play that Jason made is second best, but it's really close. But maybe that's Jason's style, right? Okay, back to the match. Can you see that?
Yep.
So was that a no or a yes? Or
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
recording it, transcribing it automatically with the software. and then I have the analysis 15 minutes after the match is over.
And now you roll 6-3. You got to come in with the 3, so that one's for sure, right? Why do you play the 6?
I'd rather not.
That's right. So you can try and get away by playing it illegally by not playing your other part, right? So in other words, if you kind of shuffle your checkers around, and put them back to the original position, and then play your 3 to come in, and then forget to play the other half, right? Then maybe your opponent will call you on it, or maybe they won't. Right? But you're right. In this position, it would be better not to play the 6, right? The 6 that play on Petko's side of the board, both give double direct shots. Well, you could play 8-2, which is really weak going deep in the board. But 10-4 right here, right? Exposes this checker to a double shot. 3s and 1s both, right? And then playing it down from here, again, exposes it to double shots. So those are not so good. But if you have to play it, you don't try and get away with something, what would you do? I'm going to come in on this point right here and play a 6.
Just run.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah, keep it going, right?
Cut your losses if you get hit.
Right.
It's an incredible technology, and I'm sure that that many of our users are gonna have a.
And he does that, and actually says it's not even close, right? Instead of exposing yourself to a double shot, run this one out so you have fewer ways to get hit. But look at what it places last. It says making the 2 or slotting the 2 point is even worse than giving a double shot. It only gives us a single shot, but it's worse. Right? What are you gonna do with that checker on the 2 point?
Good time dabbling around with it, getting to know it, and then eventually just.
This is pretty good, right? Why do I think it's pretty good? A 4-1.
Gonna have a
You can hit twice.
Hit twice, right? Let's do
good
that.
time dabbling
Boom, boom.
around with it, getting to know it, and then eventually just.
2 on the bar
hitting it
is
for
better
the
by
live
far.
magnets.
Yeah, it sounds really nice. I mean, to have the match file
Right, not even close.
immediately upon, finishing your match is really, really nice.
5. Only 1 comes in. Well, that plays easy, right? So can Jason think cube?
Yeah,
A
you
little
should almost
early.
think it.
He could, right? But he's not quite there. He only has 1 point board. He's got diversified builders. He still only has 9 checkers in the zone if he's playing an attacking game plan, right? And priming game plan, he's just got 2 points of that prime. Okay? So he can start thinking about it, because if this roll goes well and his opponent doesn't respond well, he could have a double. Right?
I look forward to using it myself the next time I get to play. But I spent
4-1.
I spent my time talking, Mark,
Okay, 4-1. That's pretty good. He hits on the 5 point with the 1. Now, how does he play his 4?
However,
Make the 5 point.
What about making the ace point?
it's too deep.
Too deep, yeah? So that would be committing him to an attacking game plan, right? But maybe it's right to not leave another blot.
You did, and you've done a really good job.
I appreciate it.
The stamina you've got is impressive.
Nothing a little caffeine can't fix,
Oh, that's an interesting decision here for Jason. He can either make the ace point, which is impure and more of a blitz style move, or he can make the 5 point, which is pure and more of a priming style move.
So putting 2 on the roof, generally when you're blitzing, it doesn't matter what order you make the points in, as long as they eventually all get closed. So for the sake of momentum, and blitzing is really about momentum, you don't mind hitting and making the 1. I know both plays are very close. This, well,
That's a good. Did you guys see that? What XG says? Hey, look at how close they are. One that could still, so the first one that could still be, this one right here, could still be an attacking game plan. But it also lends itself to a priming game plan. Blockade, consecutive checkers, consecutive points made. But making the ace point not so bad, right? It says it's really, really close.
mind hitting and making the 1. I know both plays are very close. This will lend itself more towards prime.
Okay, so Petko could only come with 1. So now should Jason double?
Maybe.
Maybe. That's a good one. How do we answer that? How do we answer that? Maybe. Well, first of all, we
what-
better be thinking
yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
How do we answer that? Maybe.
Or would it be a take? That's what we should ask.
Right. So we should use
Yeah.
Kit Woolsey's rule. Look at it from your opponent's point of view. And early reports say that Kit used when he first started thinking about this, he would actually physically get up, walk around the other side of the table and look at the board and try to answer the question, would I take this? His rule says, no, I would definitely not take it. So it could be a double drop. Okay. But it also might be too good. You might want to play him for a gamma. And if the answer is yes, I will definitely take this, that's probably not a double. If the answer is maybe, I don't know, I'm unsure, then you should double and let your opponent worry about it. Right? And he said we started doing that. He started applying his rule. His results went up tremendously. Okay? Because in the old days, players used to think, and even the top players used to think, that if you have a match that goes double drop, double drop, double drop, double drop, double drop, that means they're both playing really tight backgammon and they're making the right cube action. But Kit showed that it's wrong to do that. You should be doubling when you still have your market, when you still have a chance to win more than just 1 point, right? So he would double earlier than after you've lost your market. Okay. So using Kit Woolsey's rule, would you take this if you were Petco?
Probably.
Well, if I was as good a player as Petco, I would. But if it was me, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that sounds.
Okay.
Well, okay, Mike. Last time when we were watching this, someone commented that Petco doesn't like to be blitzed.
Right. Okay. So I maybe we did go into this part, right? So yes, he doesn't like to be blitzed. Okay. So let's look at it from Petco's playing a running game. Well, no, he's behind in the race, right? You can see up here. These are the pip counts. So he's 12 pips behind right now. Right? So he's behind in the race. Is he playing an attacking game plan? No, he's not. He's on his heels. Is he playing a priming game plan? Nope. So he's left with a contact game plan. Can he make this into a viable contact game plan?
If he can anchor, yeah.
If he can enter, right? So if he's not playing like me and dancing against Steve Sachs, then yes, you can play it as a game plan, right? So and he says, well, can I take this? Well, he's only got 9 checkers in the zone, right? 6 of them are here, 1, 2, and 4 more 6 checkers out here, and 9 checkers in the zone. And he can start thinking of making an attacking game plan. 8 is usually not enough to start an attacking game plan. 9 might be enough if it's a well distributed, and 10 almost surely you should go for an attacking game plan. Okay, so Jason, the lighter blue colors, has a weak attacking game plan. So professional against professional, this is probably a take, right? But again, Petco does not like to be blitzed. And if he feels that he is superior to Jason enough, maybe 50 points, which would be quite a bit at their level. But let's say he's playing somebody who he's 200 points ahead of in terms of rating points. His ELO. Oh, ELO, by the way. Ed?
Yes.
You probably knew the answer to this and you didn't correct me. I thought ELO was created for chess, and you probably already knew that it was created for tennis.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it was created first by tennis by that oddly named guy. Okay. So if Petco feels that he's a stronger player than Jason, and if you were playing somebody who was much stronger than, he probably would drop this because he doesn't want to lose 4 points against a much weaker player. He'd rather get in positions where he can use his skill better. Okay. So Petco doesn't not like to be blitzed. He thinks they're pretty close on.
But of course, Jason would love to hit and continue to make the one in future variations of this game. Of course, he has a very strong cube here. His opponent is on the roof against a 2-point board. There are 9 checkers in the zone, another blot in the outfield. Jason's also trailing in the match.
That's a great cube from.
Yeah, there's sufficient gammons here for sure. You know, the checker on the 1 point, if Jason is on roll, I consider to be a slotted point, not a blot, right? Because I might just cover it.
In a blitz attack, that's a slotted point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my opponent was on roll, it would be a blot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm on roll, I think I'm going to make it. And there's a lot of hidden covers, a lot of numbers that just make the 4.
And here, if you're new to backgammon, scan this QR code and you can get an easy how to play guide from Backgammon Galaxy.
And if you're new to QR codes, take out your phone and point your camera at it, and a link will pop up, and you press the link and it'll take you right there. There are a lot of people that play backgammon that have no idea what a QR code does.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Me too. In this room.
Yes.
Wait, so Mike, was that a drop? I mean, was it supposed to be a drop?
I think it's supposed to be a take. Let's see if they show that. So yes, the proper if he doesn't double, that's not good because it's a huge double. You see that it would be a mistake of 0.1592 to not double. So after he doubles, is it a take or a pass? Well, his equity, if he passes, will be -1. Okay, because he's giving up 1 point every time. But if he takes it, he has enough wins to balance the losses, even though they might be at the 2 or 4 level, that he'll do better by taking. So it's a big take, right? You see a difference of 0.106, right? It's a big mistake not to take. So Stick Rice, Jacob Rice, who goes by Stick, made the assumption that it looked like in some cases Petko was making adjustments because he thought that he was better than Jason. So he thought that he made some adjustments about when he doubled, maybe waited a little bit longer, or maybe dropped cubes like this right here. Okay. So maybe that's true. He did run the match using a Jake Jacobs, Walter Trice, fish match equity table. So we assume that there's a difference of, I don't know what he ran it as, maybe 50 points. And then it says this is your chance at each of these match equities, at each of these scores. And it'll change the action for the stronger player versus the weaker player and the weaker player versus the stronger player. They'll change what's correct. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know if I did that well, but it changes a little thing it changes some things when you are much better in your opponent, much weaker than your opponent. So for example, when you roll a 6-4, a weaker player, and your weaker player is somebody who's much stronger than you might just run with it, 24-14, because you're halfway towards getting your back checker out of there and getting to full freedom of both back checkers out. Okay, so the score is now 4-3.
Pop up and you press the link and it'll take you right there. There are a lot of people that play backgammon that have no idea what a QR code does.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Me too.
You can see here 3 and 4. They are playing a 19-point match, right? And so you should be thinking Jason needs 16 points. Petko needs 15 points. Okay. You should say that every time before you start the next game.
It's room.
Yes. Okay, so
4-1. How do we play 4-1 for Jason?
4-1.
You slot?
No, that's not what I would have said.
No.
So, okay, most of you guys would not slot. You'd play the ace in the back, right? But you bring the 4 down from the 13 point. But when you're even away, especially if it's a gammon go situation, which you're only 2 away, this play right here might be better. Anytime you make another inner board point, you increase the chances of gammon. Right? So at gammon go, I would pause it.
4-1 for Jace. You gonna go for the more complex variation here with the
Okay, not complex, but gammon go situation, and being odd away, it's really minor at this point, this far away from the end of the match. It's better to win 2 points and stay even away than it is to get just 1 point.
a 4-1, challenging Petco, one of the strongest players in the planet. I love it.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space?
I love it. Jason feels the 4 viscerally
Okay, so 4 hits and then 2 drops down, right? Instead of just making your 4 point.
when he gets hit with it, you know, as if the game is
Mm,
actually
cock die.
over. But the game isn't over.
That's a cock die.
Yes, but it's such a good roll. He wanted to see if it would settle.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree that it's a reroll.
Bump on the table, blow on the dice, you know?
Shortly, we're gonna have Miranda
So why would 4-3 have been a good roll for Jason? Think of all the things he could do. You could make an advanced anchor, put your checkers there, right? You could bring one in on this point and make the 9 point. You can bring one in and hit from either of these 2 points right here on the 5 point. So a lot of good things he can do. What would you guys do if it were 4-3?
I think I would hit from the 9 point.
Okay. And your checker in the back would be on the 3 point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am more adventurous. I'd probably hit from the ace point. You're going to strip the 8 point and put this a little further up in the board. Okay. But now we'd have 3s and 4s in it to hit this instead of just 3s, and we have 1s, 3s, and 4s to cover, right? Versus just 1s and 3s. So, but who knows what's right? It might be too early to tend towards a contact game plan by making the advanced anchor right here.
On the table.
It might be too early to do that. You should probably be playing offensively by attacking on this 5 point. Okay, don't give that point up by default.
Blow on the dice, you know?
Shortly, we're gonna have Miranda Moulton substitute.
Okay, so he is continuing his attack. He's not gonna let Petco have that point.
Suiting me here in the commentary, and Miranda is the reigning world champions in the women's division, but only for a short moment because we're also about to start the women's.
Okay, 5 he can hit. What 3 should he play? Maybe just bring it down, huh? You can't hit a second checker.
World Championship final. And I'm gonna go to commentary on that with Lisa Traeger, who is a new backgammon.
Ooh, he does something completely different, right? He says, I'm going to bring 2 up. Why does he do that? Jason's running out of attacking checkers up here because now he's got 4 in the backfield. This increases the chances of making one of these 2 points because if he hit on one, he might be able to make the other. Right? So there's a lot of good things right here, bringing 2 up like this.
Player, she's new to the game. She's a famous stand-up comedian. We're gonna not broadcast it live because we don't want the women's final.
So Jason says, I need to focus a little bit on the contact game plan. I've got 4 checkers back here. It's not going to do me much good just to attack with one of these blots and have nothing back here as structure. Right? But XG seems to disagree. It says, hey, you still should be focusing on your front game, your attacking, your offensive game plans.
To coincide with the main event final. So we're gonna post it after the main event final and premiere it on YouTube.
All right.
I'll go over and do that, and Miranda's gonna take my seat. And before I go, I just want to mention one more thing. We have another cool product coming out in the Galaxy app, which is called the AI Coach, and it basically explains.
Okay, so he has a choice of playing 24-14 like this right here. Why does he do that instead of playing this one right here? the 15 point. They'd be connected. They'd still be connected. They'd be connected from here to here, right? With the being connected meaning that they are within 6 pips of each other. If you made this one.
Duplicate twos.
Exactly. See, now they're no, first of all, they're no longer connected. They're separated by 6, right? But he's got 2, disappear, please. 2s to hit here and 2s to hit here. So a bit of duplication. So what that means, since you duplicate your opponent's numbers, is that you give them fewer good numbers. But also it makes their double 2s much better. Okay, so there's that downside. But there's 5 other rolls with deuces in them: 2-1, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, and 2-6, other than just 2-2. So for those 10 numbers versus the 2 numbers, you've made 10 numbers worse for your opponent and 2 numbers better for your opponent by duplicating. Right?
Strategy to you in your analysis mode after you play games. We have the model built, and we're gonna deploy it in the upcoming weeks. So all you guys can look forward to that.
We're gonna miss you,
Why is Jason kind of hesitating?
Mark. Are you coming?
Why is he hesitating about how he should play his ace after he hits? He decides he's going to hit in the outfield.
In the upcoming week.
He doesn't want 2 blots?
Well, maybe he does want 2 blots. Right. What's wrong with playing 6 to 5 right here? Oh, look at all those blots. But if he's playing a contact game plan where he wants to have checker sent back and to play from here, then yeah, 6 to 5 is good. Okay, so, but it might be too early to go into a contact game plan. You should still maybe be focusing on your attacking, your offensive game plans.
So all you guys can look forward to that.
We're gonna miss you.
That's
Mark. Are
why
you
he's
coming
hesitating.
back?
I might. I'm not sure. It depends.
But by picking that blot up, he says, okay, I think maybe I should focus on going forward a little bit, playing offensively.
Many things, but it's been a pleasure to be here, Justin.
All right. Well,
And
we'll
at the
see
moment-
you. We'll see you when we see you, Mark.
Yeah, I'll hang around for another minute.
All right.
Petko's just trying to get away and minimize shots.
When
Sounds
Miranda's back, she's gonna come and take my seat.
6-4 for Jason. He can make the 2 point, he can make the 7 point. Right? Those are both good ones.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind smashing the like button for us on this
It's saying that by a big margin, making the 7 points better than anything else.
video, send it out to many more people who haven't yet had the opportunity to view backgammon at this level.
Okay, double deuces. What's Petko trying to do?
He wants to run.
He wants to run this back checker, so if he could get it out somewhere, like maybe she could make this point right here, that would have been great. Okay. He can pick this checker up. He can switch to the 9 point. Right? And he can push it. So he wants to push as much as he can. But it's more important to safety this guy and do some, instead of pushing this one to do something else, right? So
Really be appreciated.
I think he will do 3 of them quickly.
Double twos here. Would you just step up, make the 9?
I think he should step up
Yeah.
here because of the pip count. He has a big pip count advantage, so he needs to come up.
Okay. So Petko is winning by, he has 24 pips after this, or is it before or after? We'll see in a second.
Up, so he's launch ready. basically.
Exactly. Just in case.
He's now 28 pips ahead of his opponent. And opponent rolls 4-2 now. So opponent is definitely playing an attack, a contact game plan, right? Where he's way behind the race. He needs to either win the race, which is going to be harder to do, or he needs to hit a blot and contain that blot and win from there. So 4-2 is pretty good. It helps him
Roll
with the
something that makes
containment
the new
game.
point like 4-2.
Yeah, now
Still has the ability to roll a 6 to get out.
Petko can roll a 6 here.
Petko
2-1.
can't do it.
Okay, not ideal.
I think Jason has had harder decisions so far than Petko.
Mm-hmm.
I expect both of their error rates to go down over time here. throughout the match. Slightly.
So Petco does the constructor thing, but he leaves the blot and he makes one of the top two plays. I don't think XG understands these plays enough at this point in a content game plan. XG is suggesting just coming to here. I think maybe on a rollout it would change its mind.
Nervous start from both players.
Although there are times in content game plans where you do that sort of thing, where you expose the blot on purpose to help your timing.
12 players.
Okay, what kind of game plan is Jason playing?
Contact.
Contact. What type of game is Petco playing?
Racing.
He's trying to make it a racing game plan, right? So if Petco's, if Jason's playing a content game plan, he might consider bringing two down, but he'd be disconnecting his back checkers from the rest of his checkers in front. He could look at hitting and slotting the 5-point and the 3-point, or he can say, okay, I need to kind of give up a little bit on this because it's kind of early. I don't have the timing to hold my position in front here, so I should move one of the back checkers, or maybe both.
Jason considering the blitzing play, attacking, splitting from the back. Seems like a very reasonable play.
Mm-hmm. But you see the top plays for XG. They're all splitting the back checkers.
Sure, it's very hard to be in this moment. You know, you've wanted to be in the finals of the Backgammon World Championship as long as you've been playing. And now you're here.
Yeah, it's an incredible moment. You know, it's like once in a lifetime, except for Petco. He's been here 3 times.
Or how about Jorgen?
Yeah, Jorgen has
He's on the other side of that coin.
The Triple C. He's 3-0 in the
Yeah.
World Championship finals.
Insane. 5-2 enters, hits on the 18.
3-2, and yet another back game. This is an early back game. I don't expect this to continue to be a back game throughout the game, but it might. Basically, every time your opponent has a double anchor, we call it a back game. But this is still early. Yeah, this could go many ways.
And we call it a contact game plan. So a back game is one type of contact game plan in general. But notice that he doesn't really have the timing to hold his position right here. These 5 checkers are going to start crashing into the board pretty soon.
Certainly could.
Okay, small mistake there from Jason. He's a little bit inflexible and not utilizing the checkers well to make a little mini stack here on the 6-point. The thing is, when you have so many back checkers and you're playing a back game, you need to play very efficiently with your checkers. They need to be utilized to the maximum. So even a little mini stack here from Jason's 6-point is no good.
And so he sees this, of course, because he needs to release this checker into the outfield so his forward position doesn't crunch and it can hold up.
Right.
This picture, it's a memory. It's a beautiful day with a special someone with a great smile. This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed.
While black starts to crunch against those double anchors.
And of course, we have the Earth board here in this app. Go to the Galaxy shop, check it out.
Definitely a racing game plan for
already
Petco.
are very well familiar with the
step
Earth
back a
board.
little
It's a
bit.
classic. It's a fantastic.
Pip count difference now 22 pips.
Miranda Moulton is here, so I'll give her my seat, and the rest of you guys can enjoy the match.
Welcome back, Miranda.
Hello.
6-2. Wow. Yeah, this seems reasonable. I mean, if Jason is hitting, he's only down 14 pips. He doesn't really have the timing for this situation.
Okay. So you see the equities on the left-hand side. I think XG is messing this up.
All right. Petco on the roof. Needs a good entering number. Jason is in this 5-4 double anchor game. Petco rolls the double fives.
Great roll.
This comes in and hits and makes the 8-point, of course, which is nice priming structure in front of these back anchors, making it more difficult for blue to get out once they get in. This seems clear, even though it leaves a double shot from the roof, because once blue enters, it makes it harder for them to get out and contain black. So, I mean, this is a very, very good roll. Probably his absolute best roll, being able to enter from the roof, hit, and make the 8-point. I mean, if I asked for any more than that, I would call myself greedy. 5-3 does enter and hit back.
No, but it's the kind of the rest of
Yes, of course, of course. 2-6, nice roll, gets to enter and hop the prime. I mean, this take would be very easy if he doubled. I'm sure he's just assessing, but you know, Jason has decent structure on the other side of the board now, right? He doesn't have the 1-point made like in previous positions. He has a solid block of checkers, and as long as he's able to fill in the 5-point here, he'll have a good game if he ever gets a shot later. You know, it's a 5-4 game as well, so Jason doesn't need as much timing as he normally would need in like a deep double anchor game, right? Where you might have the 1-2, 1-3, or 2-3 points made. 5-4 doesn't really require.
So why was Petco sitting there for so long?
Thinking about doubling.
Thinking about doubling, right? He's got 2s and 6s to hit. And if he can hit both of them, and Jason's not able to escape his back checkers over that 4 prime, he'll start to crunch. So he thinks, what's the possibility of that happening? Well, the possibility that's not great enough. And if he hits them and he establishes the 2 anchor, then he can clear the front ones. Then Jason may actually end up being the favorite, right? So he decides, no, it's a little bit too long a row to hoe. So he's going to wait at least a turn.
As much timing, and this would be a very easy take for Jason. Yeah, you could hit and play down. I'm not sure if I would actually hit though. 5-4, not great as far as like entering goes, because you don't want to have to stack everything on the 6. So maybe you use the 4 to slot the 2-point instead. That way you have some flexibility in the outfield to try to lay these checkers into the 5-point in the future, which is the point you want to slot and make. He doubles this. Yeah, Jason's flexibility is certain.
How the heck did he double so quickly? He didn't think that long. Thoughts?
Didn't he think about it last roll?
I'm sorry, you're coming through muddled. One more time?
Wasn't he already thinking about it? That's how he got to decide so quickly.
Exactly. He was already thinking about the turn before. So the same thing happened when I was playing Steve Sachs. I thought about the turn before. I thought, what improvements do I need to make to be able to double next turn? And I doubled pretty quickly. And Art says, well, I guess he's decided already. He thought that maybe I should be thinking longer about it. But I'd already thought about it the turn before, right? Okay, so Petco says, hey, this is worth a double. Your timing is suspect. If you don't roll 5s and 6s quickly, you're going to be in trouble, right? And you haven't established a deeper anchor.
Really hurt here. The checker that's on the 23rd.
So what do? Do you take this thing or drop it?
Well, I think it's a drop.
Okay.
It might be a take.
Okay. So let's say this checker on the 20-point, we're here on the 2-point instead. Would be easy. Now you're hurt. You're farther back in the race. These checkers are not at the edge. Would you be happier taking the cube or sadder taking it? Happier, right?
Yeah, having 3 points.
Having 3 points and having a better contact game plan. Yep, be happier. What do you think Jason does?
Three here really wants to be up. And
So Jason already thought about it before. And he decided, okay, I'm going to take this thing right here. He thinks he can leap with 5s and 6s and has enough time over here to not crash too much.
on its way out, Jason finds the take. And 2-1 is not a good roll. He ends up breaking the 9, which I think is good because it's one of these points that are being held against these double anchors. So no, when you hop out, you gotta, yes, exactly, slot the 5.
So Jason did the right thing, right? You need to make that 5 point quickly. So now's the time to slot it.
Point. Get your priming structure ready. I think Jason would like to be missed here. 6-4 can make the 2 point on his head. I think that's good. I don't see what else I would do.
Well, you can also just play 13-3 with the checker right there, right? Not risk getting hit back. But Jason's got 2 blots in his board. So now's the time to try and make that point.
Maybe 13-3 is an option, not leaving any outside shots. But making the 2 point has a lot of value. Puts him on the roof. You might have the opportunity to pick up this checker as well if they fan. But, you know, there's also the risk they could enter and hit you, but there's 2 blots in the board, so I'm not overly concerned about that.
Aha. Now where do you come in, on the 1 point or the 5 point?
Well, come in on the 1 and make your own 5 point.
That sure looks pretty good, huh?
They just announced another winner of some other event, so they take pictures and do all the announcements right next to us. Petco made the 2. Jason enters with a 1-5 and entered.
So according to XG, Petco or Jason made the best play by a good amount.
Made the 5 point, which I think is a good play. 5-4.
Okay, so each of these plays is not just trivial toss away plays. You actually have purpose in your moves. Even here, you're trying to maximize the chances of making the ace point, right? Put builders in to make the ace point. That'll make it much safer for you to come home.
Yeah, 6-2 must be better than some of these other ones. You like this.
So are you seeing what he's saying here? Okay. He rolled a 5-4, right? So he safety the blot to here. And if he plays, he's only got 2 legal 4s from there. If he plays to here, he stripped his 7 point. He can't use that. He would have to use that builder there and break that point. Right? And the other one is 6-2, which leaves spares on the 8, 7, and 6 points. And it adds another builder for the ace point. So this has got to be better. He seems to be taking too much time with it. Or maybe it's just me playing with the stop and go.
Deep and made the 5 point, which I think is a good play. 5-4. Yeah, 6-2 must be better than some of these other ones. You like the spares where they are. 4-6 just hops out from the 24 point.
Is that right? To hop out from the 24 point? That's your major point of contact, right? Well, what is interesting is that Jason says it with authority and quickly.
I think you should just run out. You know, you don't want to do anything that might allow your position to crunch. So I don't know what value this 6 has over hopping out, but I can see it's very close. Yeah.
Right, by bringing another checker in the outfield right here, he's taking away the risk of rolling double 3s and going crunch, crunch, crunch.
Anything that might cause our forward position to crunch while we're sitting in a double anchor game must be thought about. Like,
He would have had a shot if he'd stayed back on the 24 point. But Petco's playing property clear from the rear.
double threes just covers the 2 point.
Once
6-4, okay. Petco doesn't love this. I mean, I'm sure it's better than leaving a shot with 6-3, but it does clear the point out of order. Jason's board is set up perfectly for a shot, and Petco rolls one of the poor sixes here, like 6-1, but dice on checkers doesn't count. Jason's upset. He goes, I love this number. 5-1 doesn't leave a shot, not yet. And this is not great because Jason might be forced off of his forward anchor, which he doesn't want to have happen right now. And he doesn't have to come off. This is a really good roll. Petco wants to roll numbers like 6-5 or big sixes or 2-1. This is certainly better than 6-3 and 6-4, but it does have to break his board. So now Jason can hop off of his front anchor, and it won't hurt too bad. Because there is that blot in Black's board. 5-3. He doesn't have to leave a shot yet. He can just play both off of the 6, which is what I would do because I would be nervous of getting hit. Look at Jason's board.
Try this simple at-home trick.
But also, did you notice how close the 2 plays are between hitting on the 5 point and not hitting on the 5 point?
The same.
It is the same. I can read that, but over the board, if I didn't have these numbers to look at, what would you really do, though? You know?
would play 2 from the 6.
Of course, you know, because like you would just be scared of them rolling the number. But of course, maybe the fear is here that your position is so stripped outside that it might just be worse next roll. You might roll a 6-4 and leave a double shot.
Yeah.
So Petco can see that there is something here. And maybe he thinks it's really close. And on plus, the hidden play is actually right, which is something I don't think I could get myself to do.
He's considering it.
He is. I mean, there's a lot of upside in the fanning numbers for sure.
And this way, he could even fan.
Makes it.
Yeah, so there's more gammons.
Very good, Petco. Right? He gets away with this, he's pretty much home free.
Here, definitely.
You win a gammon.
And he fans. Jason can't believe it. Petco can't believe it.
There's gammon
The
equity
crowd
here.
goes wild. The commentators go mild. And he covered. 6-3. Jason continues to fan. 6-5. Takes the checker off. Goes to the ace point. He just needs to clear the 5, and Petco will be smooth sailing. But 6-1, 5-1.
1 will leave.
4-1 leaves the shot. Double twos is perfect.
Okay, so this pretty paid off. He's gonna win a gammon now.
Unless Jason enters with some really strong numbers here.
Good,
There is
diversify
a
your
chance
checker.
Jason could get off this G, but he's going to need some big rolls.
Don't just play your 6 in and keep it going because you're just disgusted, right? Because you kept dancing. Instead, diversify your checkers so you maximize your crossovers and come in only to the 6 point and no further. Right? That's the best gammon saving technique.
Petco starts off with double 4s. Jason's chances are diminishing to get off this G. I would say they're almost 0, especially after that 2-3. I predict a break if Jason loses a G here. 4-3 for Petco. 3 rolls left on average for him. Can Jason get out and around? It doesn't look like it. It looks like Petco is going to win the gammon here.
You only get one crossover with that. He's not in danger of being
4-2.
back in right now. Now he's got to bring him back checker out.
6-1 isn't
Guaranteed.
going to be enough. Petco takes 2 off. Jason rolls double 6s in the.
Okay, so Jason just lost 4 points. It's going to be 8-3. And you should be thinking, if you're in Jason's shoes, 16 away, 11 away. And if you're in Petco's shoes, 11 away. Let's see, 8, 9, 11 away versus 16 away. Okay. Okay, we can quickly go through the XG feed, which has a better analysis on it, and then call it, right? So I should be able to go directly here. Yep, you guys see that board. Let's open up that file, which I did not have saved. Backgammon. Petco. And we're looking at the game that started at. We did actually, we basically did all this stuff for for game 4. We did it while I was there. And it wasn't really anything that's controversial, I don't think. And then game 5, okay, we'll go through quickly. 4-1, he does a slotting play, right? And it's like 0.031, 31 millipoints difference right here, right? Even here. But if it had been gammon go, it might be flipped around. Can we do that here? Oh, I think I have to go through the save position, then run it through gammon go. But okay, 4-2 is going to hit and drop one down, right? So there's the closest other thing is to bring 2 checkers up. That's interesting. 3-2, right? The important thing is seeing all of the. Okay, see you, Mark. I don't know if you're already gone. Seeing all the possible plays. But see, a number of these are really close. They look like fighting for the 5 point, making the butterfly anchor, and diversifying out here to make hopefully a better anchor. But these two are the best plays. Anchoring, a solid asset, and fighting for the 5 point. Okay. Okay, 5-3 from here. Hit. And he brought it up, which was really good, right? Because it increased the chance of making advanced anchor. Okay, 4-2 from here. How should you play a 4-2? Black. All right, the important thing is to see all the plays. Make the 21 point, hit, make the 9 point. And next you have to roll out, says that this is the best play. Hitting right here. So the second best play, and it's just like a coin flip, is making the 9 point. Third best play, fighting for the 5 point. And again, it's really, really close. And a little bit further out is making the anchor. Okay. Okay, so from here, 6-2. 6-2 from here. Yep. So did he make the best play by disconnecting them? It looks like it, right? He made 11 point and he disconnected to duplicate deuces, is what we think is the reason why. Okay, so from here, 2-1 was rolled. And Jason said, I'm going to hit out here. I'm going to pick this checker up. Okay. But look at this. Look what actually says maybe the better play. Or it says on ++, it thinks it's the better play. This is what it looks like when he picks it up. This is what it looks like when he slots the 5 point. You know, he's saying, hey, you're going into a contact game plan. You've got these 2 anchors back here. Maybe you should be helping that game plan along by possibly getting hit here. And if not hit, making that point, a big game. Okay. Can you guys see the value of that 6-5 play? I can hear you mentally nodding your heads, right? Okay, 6-1 from here, 1 in, and is that right? 6-1, yeah, 1 in, and then keep the front one going to minimize shots. Okay. This right here does the same sort of thing, but there's more ways you can get double hit. Okay, from here, 6-4. And he made the 7-point, right? Which looks like by far the best play. Double deuces from here. I think he played them in the right order. That's important. Make the 9-point and pick up the blot and push the 22. Yep, best play. 4-2 from here. Just make the 4-point. Nothing else comes close. 2-1. He made the 7-point here. Is that the best play? Probably, right? But also you might want to consider coming off the mountains right here. Go to the 5-point, go to the 11-point. So actually says drop to the 3-point, but I don't know about that. And it also says this play of slotting the 5-point and stepping up. 1s and 4s hit over here, 1s, 2s, and 3s hit on this side right here is also really good. And this is not so bad. And this is pretty good too, right? Although it's almost a blunder, but of the top plays, it's the 5th best play. So from here, 4-2, you can't hit the checker here. Okay, there's lots of plays, right? And it depends on what type of game plan you're trying to cater to. So Jason says, okay, we do this right here. Also really good at stepping, bring 2 checkers up. But look at, you want to split your back checker somehow, some way. Okay? And this one strictly caters to the content game plan. You're breaking your midpoint, you're breaking your connection between your back checkers and your front checkers. But if you're not hit, you make a good point. If you are hit, you improve your content game plan. So from here, 5-2. Petko just comes in and hits on this point right here. Nothing even close to that. 3-2 for Jason. So now this is interesting right here, right? Because actually thinks, hey, this might be the best play right here, right? Improving your board and then hopefully making an advanced figure next time. And this is one here is making advanced figure right away. Just keeping spread out again, hopefully for better anchors next turns. And the play he actually made, right? Actually says, hey, you don't want to waste a checker by playing you'd rather not play your 2 from the 8-point to the 6-point, right? So don't do that. Okay. So from here, you roll 3-1 for white. 3-1, so maybe hit or just make the 9-point. He just made the 9-point, which is better than hitting because he's going to get hit back with 6s and 5s all over the place. 5-3 from here. So he should step up to try and get out, right? And play the 5 someplace else. He made the best play. 4-3, just bring it around for the white checker. From here, Petko rolls 6-1, so he can hit, right? That's a great roll. 5-3, he's got to come in, just keep it going. He doesn't want to get hit on the 5-point and keep it, let the opponent keep it slotted. Even though it leaves him a double shot here, but it would have been a double shot anyway, no matter how he played it. Okay. So we'd 6-2 from here, or black. Right. So he hits, and he leaves it there. Right. He plays 22 to 20. Okay, because he's kind of behind this 4'. Okay. So from here, Petko rolls double 5s. It seemed like 1, 2, 3, 4 might be the best way to play it. That seems the most pure way to play it. But instead he plays this one right here. And actually says this is the 2nd best play. This is the 1st best play, which I don't think is right, making the ace point here. And the 3rd best play is this one right here. Okay. But it says do this. I don't know if he really wants to switch to a the more of an attacking game plan and running. Unless he's really close to getting a running game plan, which he might be. Okay. So from here, black rolls 5-3, 5 to come in, 3 can hit. And then 5-5. So 1, 2, and then make the 8-point, right? Gotta be best. Okay. Then from here, 5-3 was rolled for black. So he's got to come in here and he should just hit, right? Nothing close. And then from here, 5-3 played by white. Good roll, 5 and hit. 6-2, got to come in 2, got to bring the checker out. Don't worry about safetying this slot right here. Bring the checker out from here. It's got to be a huge difference between to be triple whopper, not to step out. Okay, 6-5 for white from here. He can hit or not hit. All right, he maybe doesn't want to help Jason's timing. So after a rollout, this is what actually thinks from this position right here. It thinks the best play is not to hit. Okay, and the second best play is the play that he made. And thinks the third best play is hitting and leaving that direct shot, right? So the big thing is, maybe best not to hit because Jason's timing is a little bit suspect. And then after he loses the timing from these checkers in the board, he'd have to break an anchor somewhere. So from here, 5-4 is rolled. Okay. So coming in the 5, so you can leap, and then 4, 6-2 gives him more ways to slot this 5-point with both 5s and 1s instead of just 1s this way. So from here, Petko said, hey, I'm going to double this thing. And it's just a bare double, actually, right? Jason's got a pretty solid game with his 2 anchors there. And his timing being somewhat decent. Okay, so double take, they both decide that pretty quickly. And 2-1 from here. Jason says, or Petko says it's time to start clearing these back points. Even though it has a blot here, time to start clearing them to make it easier to get in and off. I don't know if there's anything else that's really interesting here. Okay, 6 got to come out. Right? Well, 6-4 right here. Okay, making the 2-point is really close to just not hitting at all and just playing to the 3-point. So this is one play without hitting, the other play with pointing. Pointing takes care of it right away, but leaves a blot right here, right? Okay, from here, 5-1 rolled, comes in the 24-point to maximize contact value, and he makes his 5-point, right? Best play. And then 5-4 from here has got to be best play right here with the 2-point for distribution's sake. 6-4. This was not clear to me. And I would do a roll to see all this right here. This play is the best play, it says, just coming out, making your timing is good. Even though you only have a 5-4 back game against these points that are almost cleared, right? So something like this might have been what I would have played right here. And it's really, really close. And stepping up, I don't know. I think this would be my first play, actually. So it'll take a rollout to get a better idea. Okay. So from here, 6-2 was played. So you want to say even and even on the outside checkers, outside point, and that's what he does. Anything else will leave it odd and even and odd. Okay. From here, double 3s, just make the 2-point. Okay. 6-4. Only way not to leave a blot is by breaking the 7-point. He'd rather break this back point first because now he's got a gap to leap. Okay. 5-3 from here, just play from the 11-point with a 14-point. 5-1, wait. Right. Double aces for black. He can keep his position still. Was that me jumping around or was that an earthquake? Okay. Then from here, 2-1. And it's pretty close whichever way, but actually saying you should be playing it this way here because then you have more 2s that are safe. And this way takes away one of the 6s. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to give her the chat box. Okay, so 4-3. Got to run the front checker out. Don't take the back checker out. Take the front checker out because you'll have more ways to hit. Right? It's harder for them to clear this thing against a 0.4 away from it. From here, he rolls a 5-3, and that was a big decision, right? This play right here. On the rollout, that actually says it's better not to volunteer a shot. And this one on plus plus, it said it was better, but after the rollout, it says that this is a better play. But it's saying that these two are really, really close. Basically a coin flip. And the rest of it, I think you just cleared it, right? Okay.
I'm surprised that's a coin flip, given the difference in winning possibility.
Which play?
The hitting versus just playing forward.
Okay.
65% and 60%.
Right, 5%. Look at the gammon difference though.
Oh, okay.
Almost 14% or 7. Yeah, almost 14%.
Yeah.
Almost. Right? More gammons. Okay. Oh, we lost Ed. Did he go feed Sky?
No, he's taking her to the dog park. He's meeting some folks there.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
My
Well,
brain
it-
can't hold anymore,
I know
Very
it's,
nice.
it is a
was-
lot, right? Especially I'm going so fast.
but it's Thursday in Kailua, right?
Is that right, Kathy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Coffee
And I'll
copy.
be showing up late.
Coffee copy. And then 2 weeks after that is winter passage. Okay. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Bye bye.
Bye.